I don't like Twitter stuff.
Okay, we're live. What's up, BeatStars family? Welcome to another episode of the Jam with Jamil. My name is Jamil, and today we have a very special episode. We're going to be highlighting a lot of the women of BeatStars, and we have two special guests, Angel Ray and Monique Winning. Say what's up, guys, and introduce yourselves. Let the community know who you are if they don't already know you.
Who's going
Hi.
first? Okay.
Hey guys, I'm Angel Ray. I am a female producer and beat maker.
Okay. Hey y'all, I'm Monique Winning. I'm a female producer as well. And yeah, let's get started.
Yeah, cool. I want to thank you guys again for joining me on the show. This episode is really important to me. On this show, I try to be all about diversity and highlighting different aspects of the BeatStars community, different genres, people from different producers from different walks of life. I like to get perspective, and I think it's really good for a lot of the producers on BeatStars as well to see some of their I guess a lot of their colleagues in the community doing things from different angles. So really happy to have you guys as guests. So what I did was I compiled the plays of some of my favorite beats from Monique and Angel, as well as a lot of the other female creators on BeatStars. So I just thought we'd go ahead and get right into it. We got a couple of beats from Angel right off the bat. This one is called "Only You Can." What's up, everybody in the chat? Welcome in. And this is you two on the hook, right?
Yes, this is me too.
Super dope. I think it's like really cool when producers are able to like also be artists and create hooks. Who needs an artist when you can do it yourself, right?
Yeah. And this is actually a collab with me and DJ Swag Trace. DJ Swag Trace and I collaborated on this track.
Oh, cool.
Actually, both of these tracks, the next one is one I collab with him as well.
So when you do like a beat with a hook, what do you think like what usually comes first for you? Is it like do you hear like the hook or the melody in your head, or do you like create the beat and then kind of think of what would go well with it?
I usually start with my melody first. Even before I even add like the drums or anything, I'll hear melody and then it sometimes it's effortless sometimes and sometimes I kind of struggle with it, but I usually do the melody and then I'll just kind of like sit there and figure out what the type of hook I want to put on the track. Is what I usually do. But usually it's like really effortless in the sense that I get the melody and then I add the hook and then I build the drums. Unless it's like a trap beat, then that's a whole nother vibe.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I think that's really interesting. I think I'm not really sure. I'm not an artist, so I don't know what's the norm or what's common with that. But I think that's a dope process. Like, I mean, it sounds like really natural and effortless, right? But I know sometimes there's probably a lot more work that goes into it to make it like sound so good.
Yeah.
And this is usually your kind of vibe, right? Like the jazzy R&B soulful type.
Usually, yes. I have two niches that I'm in is the soulful and the jazzy, and then I have my trap moments where I'm just like these really hard trap beats, and I usually stick to those kind of two genres.
Got it. What are your influences from both of them? Like, who do you kind of try to like make your music sound like for like the R&B stuff?
I'm I usually drift towards like Erica Baidu and what's her name? Like the more neo soul artists, Jill
Gotcha.
Scott, India Ari. I try to go something more like that. Um, as far as like when I'm trying to get into those soulful jazzy vibes. Like when I for my as far as trap, I try to like I'm really feeling like the Joyner Lucas style of beats, and like that's been kind of stuck in for like right now, and so that's what I've been kind of like what's been inspiring my trap beats lately. I was like in a Tech 9 phase, but that kind of like fell off, and then I just kind of got
Mhm.
into a Joyner Lucas mood.
That's cool. I think, I mean, yeah, I saw a lot of like Joyner Lucas stuff when I was going through your page, like finding beats. And I think that's cool. You know, sometimes when you're like scrolling through beats, you see like a lot of the same artists. And Joyner Lucas like isn't quite as common. So it's like refreshing to see like people who are like really passionate and focused about like perfecting a certain type of sound. So
Yeah, I see Buko in here as always.
yeah, Bufo is always in here holding it down. Oh, you have a country joint too, Bufo said?
Yes, me and him collaborated on that, and I did the hook on that track as well, and helped produce that one.
Ooh, so you were singing like, did you have like a country accent when you were singing on the
No,
country track?
not really. Fupo came up with the country part of it, and I was just like, I was just singing, so I didn't really think
Gotcha,
country when I was creating the hook. So
gotcha. Well, hey, country is like getting into like, you know, a non-traditional phase right now.
yeah,
With Lil Nas X blowing up, being like, with that, like, even though they tried to deny it to him, like he became like the biggest country artist
yeah,
of like the year last year. So I think country has like, you know, room to grow. It doesn't have to just be like what it always was or these old ideas that people have about it. So that's pretty cool that, you know, you guys are experimenting with that. I think more people should try to do that.
yeah. It was a fun track for me to do, and it was interesting when he brought it to me, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna sing on this, but you
Mhm.
know, whatever happens, happens. Just kind of caught his vibe and just went with it.
That's dope. So this one that we're listening to right now is called Rose Colored Glasses.
Yes.
What can you tell us about this one?
When I created this track, I wanted that. I have an obsession with like organs and like pianos. Like they have it just to have that vibe. I kind of caught the vibe of the organ. Um, when I went in and set it up and I heard the melody, I was like, this needs organ. And then I sent it over to for Stackface to collab on it, and he just completely like took my vision and ran with it, and just like I was like, this is perfect. So
That's
like
awesome.
it started with the organ for me. Like I was just like, this organ is like life. So I ran with that, and that's how this came about.
That's dope. I'm not sure if like my ears are like trash, but like I never really like think of like organ when I'm listening to music. I'm always like, I don't know. I always just either assume it's like piano or guitar. So that's dope that you had the organ in there. It sounds really good, like unique too. All right, so this one we're getting to the tracks from Monique. This one's called Times Like This. It's a guitar beat, and it's Tusi and Ryla Rodriguez. What can you tell us about this beat, Monique?
Um, okay, first
Sorry,
off,
vague question.
no, it's fine. I made it a while ago, and I haven't heard it in a while, so
Mhm.
it's refreshing to hear it again. But yeah, I heard the loop for the guitar, and I just fell in love with it. And I felt like it had like big, like up tempo, bouncy kind of energy. So I was like, well, the drums got to be kind of bouncy. So yeah, I just meshed the two vibes together, and that's why it sounds bouncy.
No, I loved it when I heard it. I was like sleepy kind of when I was like when I was going through this, and then like this one like woke me up. I was like, this is
Yeah.
hype.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about like, you know, your influences on this? I see in both tracks we got like four different artists. Did you like go into the beats thinking you wanted to make a sound like that, or does that come like afterwards when you're listening to it? And I think like something that I've talked about a lot on this show is like, and when I try to make like educational content and like talk to producers about like better ways to get your beats out there, I talk a lot about like tagging and making sure your like tags are like accurate. So what do you kind of do to like make sure that, you know, like evaluating your beats and figuring out which artist it sounds like?
Um, well, my first thought, I don't really go into beats thinking of, oh, I'm gonna make such and such type beat. Well, I only do that with like Lil Baby, but anybody else, I don't really just go in with like a certain artist in mind. I just make whatever like I feel or whatever, and then once I hear the finished product entirely, and I'm like, okay, this beat kind of reminds me of such and such, so I'll put such and such in the tag. But with my tags, I try to do people who are like relevant and like hot. That way, it can generate more searches in a way. So
Yeah.
that's my method.
That's cool. Yeah, I think that's like I think it's like really important. I see, sometimes when like artists are like super hot, like the amount of like beats produced like for them or like, like X type beat will be like produced. But I think sometimes like, if everybody's making those kinds of beats, the market could get like a little bit saturated. So I
Right.
think it's cool to like see different types of artists. Like I don't really see tags like this, too much. And your beat, and they still do well. So I think that's like a pretty like cool example of like how finding like a niche can really like help you.
Right.
All right, and this one is called Rain Down. It is a paint type beat, Quando Rondo, Kevin Gates. I like this one a lot. It's super dope.
Yeah, I like this one too.
It's so bouncy too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying to like find my niche with these paint type beats because they're real easy to do and they're like one of my favorite types of beats to do, and a lot of people like them. So I'm really trying to like make a prominent niche with that. Yeah.
That 808 though.
Thank you.
That's like my heart right there. 808. Ooh.
Yeah. People be asking me, they be like, how do you make your 808 hit so hard? Da, 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 da. I'd be like, look, I just turn it up. Okay?
Yeah.
That's it. It's all just about leveling or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I like comments.
Welcoming everybody into the chat again. Sorry, I want to highlight comments, but then it like covers your face for a little bit, Monique. So I'll try to do them quick. What's up, everybody in the chat? Anybody have any questions, any comments about these super dope beats we're listening to from our guests?
Any questions? Anything?
Let me see if we have anything so far. Yup, Cloud9, I agree with you, sir.
Thank you, Cloud9. You're always being so nice on Twitter. I love him. He's my favorite.
Super supportive, man, and he's like he's like a perfect example of somebody who's like he goes the extra mile and he's willing to take in all the information and be really engaged with the community, and it's showing up like in his sales. Like
right. Congrats to you, Cloud9. I seen your tweet about that. I'm super happy.
Yeah. That was amazing.
Yeah. So cool.
PF Rodriguez is asking, where's everybody from? I'm in Austin. I don't know if you care about where I'm from. But yeah, I'm in BeatStars headquarters. How about you guys?
I'm in Texas. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm in Well, I'm from Jacksonville, but I'm in Georgia right now.
I'm in Texas, San Antonio, Texas.
Dope. Love the mixing of light and darkness in this beat.
Okay, thank you. I like that.
Everybody here ready for the summit tomorrow? I'm super excited. It's gonna be amazing.
I've been seeing it everywhere. Like I'm so intrigued to what it's gonna be.
Yeah, we're super excited about it. We're doing our best to let people know what's going on with it. Tomorrow we're starting off. We have our schedule live at BeatStars. Let me type it in the comments. BeatStars.world/summit.
I see some.
Oh, David is asking.
Right.
What do you guys use?
I use. Okay.
Logic.
I use FL over here. Bufo asked, what are some of their dream collabs? Mine would be like in terms of producers or artists. So I'm gonna answer both. So in terms of producers, Metro, Metro Boomin is like literally why I started. Um, that's my really only one. Metro. In terms of artists, Lil Baby, Rod Wave, Nicki Minaj, Gunna, um, Young Thug. Those are some of my favorites. Yeah.
In terms of artist slash producer, my dream collab, no lie, is Missy Elliott. Like, I would love to collab with Missy Elliott.
Love
Um,
Missy.
as far as like other artists, I would have to say Cardi and Nicki, and like I would like to do a great collab one of these days. So, oh wait,
This track right now is by Lopez Music, Brianna Marin. So she's one of our like artists on BeatStars. She collabs with a lot of producers, and she writes like super dope hooks.
yes, she does. She's amazing. Like she's like, I look up to her when it comes to writing hooks. Like she's killing it right now.
This is
Yeah, she
giving me
is.
like radio vibes.
Yes.
Sean Jade is asking if you guys have any tips on marketing.
Um, with me, honestly, I don't really pay for like uh any promotions or anything like that. My a lot of my marketing just comes from doing stuff that's like appealing to the eye. Like I try to when I promote my own things, like on my own social media, I try to post stuff that I know people will engage with, that I know like people will like. Like, like I treat my beats and my licenses, all that, I treat them like commercials. Like I just try to like pull people in, like, hey, this is what I'm offering. And I try to sell value a lot. Because people don't want to buy something if they don't know what it does for them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's what I do.
And I feel the same way. I don't pay for any promotions either. Like my content, I try to put something that will catch a person's attention versus just putting out a beat visualizer, just my beat. And because I know that for me it doesn't work. But when
Right.
I notice that when I put out content that, like me writing a hook, I noticed that it got so much engagement, and then it drives people to my beat store, who want to license hooks and who want to license the beats with hooks. So I think, yeah, I agree with Monique on that. Like value is very important when it comes to marketing yourself and your beats.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you guys. I think it's easy to get like caught up in like just like making beats and forgetting that like if you're selling them, like it's really a product. And
Right.
if people don't feel like they're getting their money's worth, then they're not going to come back. And if you already like get somebody to buy a beat, you already have like a legit audience,
Right.
and they're probably going to want more in the future. So you got to make sure like the value is there, the customer service is there, so they're going to want to come back.
Oh, here's a good one. Uh, J Rego Music says, so my process, when I start making a beat, I usually start with a melody idea and then kind of go from there. Or sometimes I'll start with, if I already know I'm gonna make a trap beat, then I'll start with my hi-hats. But usually I start with my melody or a loop that I am feeling, and then I'll just build on top of that. And then I go into once I have like my layers of everything, like it's like basically making a cake for me. Like when I have all my ingredients, then I start like arranging it and then like doing the mixing, and then I go into do like a quick master, since I'm not actually mixing a whole song. So that's my process.
My process will probably be I'll have an idea of like what kind of vibe I want to make. Like I know like if I want to make a trap beat, 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be like a dark trap beat. So I'll know like what kind of scale I'll need to use, what kind of instruments I'll need to use, stuff like that. But then if I'm like pushing it and I feel like I'm forcing myself, I'll try to use a loop or whatever. And then just depending on whatever type of melody I use, whether it's a loop or just me making the melody myself. Then the next thing I do, of course, is the drums. I usually do like the perks and the percussions, like the clap and the snare patterns and like drum patterns. And then the third-ish thing I do would be like the 808 and the kick. And then just mix and arrange the beat. And then, yeah, that's it.
That's awesome. Is that similar to any of you guys in the chat? Let me give a quick shout out to Aria Beats. She's been in the chat a few times. She's a little bit newer on the platform, I believe. This beat is called July. It's a lo-fi, chill type beat. And that last one was by Tia Soundoff, who's popping right now. I actually used that beat seed for one of my tutorial videos. So
Bufo asked a good question. I don't know how to highlight it, but it says, from your point of view, what are some challenges y'all from women producers encounter in our industry? Is there something specific y'all like you can't say if you could? One of the, well, a few of the biggest challenges I feel like we encounter is, well, the main thing for me is when people address me, and instead of being on business, they try to be more on personal first, like in terms of like going on dates and stuff like that. I'm like, no. Another thing, another thing would be just not being taken as seriously because we are females and because female producers are so rare. They feel like people just feel like major people and independent people, they feel like they can get over on us in a way in terms of like business and things like that. That's one of the main things for me also. Another thing is also just being underestimated. 9 times out of 10, a lot of female producers can make beats better than most of these guys.
Right.
So that's another one. In terms of anything specific that I would like to change, I would like to change what's normalized, basically, like the fact that there's so many male producers who are just placid everywhere in terms of like interviews, playlists, social media, whatever. But you don't really see like too many like women and things like that. So that's something I want to change. It's just like what's being showcased. Like let's showcase more women. So,
right.
Yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah, I agree with Monique because I mean I have experienced some things that I know female producers should have to feel like when they're doing something that they love. I would like for women to be more respected, and like Monique said, like we can make women do like some of the women that I've seen make better beats than some of the guys, and I'm like, listen, I deserve the same credit that you do, and I would like to change it, like where I haven't experienced this, but I've talked to other female producers that have experienced this, where when it comes down to collabing with the male producers, that we get our equals shared. Like, don't try to like con me out of my part of the collab, or when people come in their DMs asking for beats, just because I'm a female doesn't mean that I'm just going to give you a free beat.
Right.
So, I would like to change that. Like their approach needs to be better. And when a woman comes into the studio as a producer, like don't change your whole vibe because we come into the studio. So continue to be yourself. Continue to work. Do you make your beats and produce? Like don't adjust yourself. Don't feel like you have to adjust because I'm a female.
Right.
So
right.
That's my take on it.
Yeah, and I dare anybody to put these beats in this playlist up against anything that I've ever played on this show. This is just as fire, if not more. So,
right.
I don't know, man. All right, this one is by Shashi Productions. It's called Plastic Earth. It's a Ellie Goulding, more J. Cole type beat. I think this one is a little bit like more in the poppy, I guess, R&B vibe. We haven't heard one yet like that on this list.
That's an interesting combination.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard a song that sounds like Ellie Goulding and J. Cole at the same time.
Like it's really cool to see other producers like what they put together, or like how they try to put certain artists together on the platform.
Right. I think it's like there's like so much room for, innovation on here with the way that like everybody's creating their music. Yeah, it just makes me happy to see like so many different diverse artists that I would never think that there would like be beats for, because I'm big like into pop music, and I don't know, sometimes I expect to only see like hip hop, but then you see everything like Charlie Puth type beats. So
Yeah.
I don't know, I think that's cool. Nobody's disrespecting J. Cole. What else do we got in here?
Shashi produces.
J. Rego asks, what is a dream VST you guys haven't copped yet, but it's on the bucket list? I don't know. I don't really like to use too many VSTs because my laptop does not carry that much space. I don't have like the extra hard drive or whatever. But the one that I had really been wanting to get for a long time was probably Contact, the full Contact. And my friend TNT, he got it for me, so that was major to me.
That's actually the VST that I'm actually waiting to get is Contact. Like I want the whole complete set, but it's like mad expensive right now. So I'm just like, it's on my bucket list to get. That's one of the VST definitely Contact, especially because I can upload different libraries and like use different instruments in there, and they just sound really good and give me an organic sound without actually having to play an actual instrument. So that's definitely one of like my VSTs that I need to get my hands on.
J. Rego, if you want complete 12, you got to RSVP to the summit. We're giving it away for free. If you RSVP, you could be entered. So everybody go register for the summit. We're giving away $4,500 in prizes from Native Instruments. So you guys are entered, right? You guys are entered. You guys RSVP to the summit, so you're eligible to win too.
I have to. Is it too late? I forgot.
No, it's not too late. You can still RSVP.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
BeatStars.world/summit, everybody.
BeatStars.world/.
Yes.
Big facts, Coco.
Oh my god, there's a lot of questions. Hold on.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Am I able to highlight, or is it just you?
If you put your mouse over them, you should be able to press show. I don't know if only I can do it, but just start answering one and I can highlight it.
Okay. Produced by, is it The Clip? I don't know. He said, how do you decide which artist to tag your new clip? I'm really struggling with that. So what I do is I just try to match the artist to the vibe of the beat. Like, for instance, if I make a piano beat, it has a bunch of like vocal one shots in it, I'm gonna put like Rod Wave or like Quando Rondo, just whoever mainly uses those types of beats. So that's what I do.
Wait, hold on, it's still moving so fast. Let me see if I can highlight this one. Wait, it won't let me highlight this one.
Yeah, start answering and I can highlight it for you.
It says, how do you guys attract vocalists for your beats? I feel like almost different approaches, is almost a different approach with a rapper. For me, what I do is I try to make the track as like roomy as possible without putting too much in it. Like I can still have a lot of stuff, but when I go into the mixing phase, I try to make sure, as a singer, it's quite easy for me to do this because I can hear where the vocals is gonna sit in the track. So I try to make sure that there's not too much going on that's gonna take away from the vocalist.
Pro Productions asks, have you ever thought of becoming an artist before becoming a producer, or do you think you'll become an artist in the future? Um, I actually have. Like my journey to becoming a producer is so like weird. Like I've tried everything music oriented. Like I've tried songwriting, singing, rapping, dancing, like literally everything. Stuck at all of them. So have I thought of becoming an artist? Yes, of course. Do I think I would become an artist in the future? Honestly, just seeing like the way the lifestyle of an artist nowadays, especially like being in the limelight of social media nowadays, honestly, no. Like I like being behind the scenes, being a producer. And I don't really think I have the voice for singing or rapping, but in terms of like coming up with like writing ideas, that's something I'm definitely gonna do, like with hooks and things like that. But yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah. I see Bufo asks, how do I balance the producer life and being a mom? I don't even have time to raise a hand. Well, honestly, it's just all about time management. Like, I love making beats, I love making music. So I find that music time is my time. So I just manage and I work around my kids. Like, if they're like chilling out, that gives me like a good 30 minutes to an hour before their attention changes for me to go in and make a beat real quick, or I don't know, upload to my YouTube or upload to BeatStars. So like it's all about time management, like seriously.
This current beat right now is by Gianna Major. It's called This Summer. It's Wale and Drake type. This one is like some major vibes. I see Gianna Major all the time. She's always on the charts.
Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anybody.
Produced by Coco as do y'all like to sample? I do in terms of just like sampling one of my favorite old school songs. That is like a fun experience. But in terms of like making an actual beat to license with them and like sell and send out, no. I feel like there's a lot of complications in regards to like clearing samples. So
Yeah, I'm not too big on sampling. I like the idea of sampling and being able to like use it, but I would probably as an artist use something that I sampled rather than as a producer, because there's so much red tape in that, like
right.
getting things cleared and all that stuff. But I'm not against sampling at all, but that's just not something that I do in my regular production.
Cool. This one is by Aubrey Whitfield. It's like the only rock type beat. I thought this was like super interesting when I came across it.
Huh.
An Aubrey Whitfield production.
This gives me commercial vibes, like sitting
Right?
on TV and commercial. Like that, like the Lay's commercial. This is definitely like something I could see being licensed in a commercial.
Definitely. I think like a car, like you know, like those like car commercials where they're like driving down a dirt road.
Yes, yes.
And it's like
Right,
super
yes.
hype.
Subaru commercials, yes. Here's another question by Cloud9 Music. So some of my favorite artists that I like to listen to, which playlist do you want me to go through? Because I have my workout playlist, and then I have like my just my chill. But I like to listen to the more trappier stuff, like Meg Thee Stallion. I have a lot of her stuff. Of course, I have Cardi B. I have Nicki Minaj on there. And now some of my more slower, soulful stuff. Of course, you guys know I have my Erykah Badu and my Jill Scott.
Yeah.
So I have like a balance. And then I have my old school like vibes on there from like when I growing up. Like I still listen to like The Temptations and like Anita Baker, and I just kind of I have like my different playlists for different things depending on my mood. So
For me, honestly, I listen to the same people, same few songs every day. Like, Nicki Minaj, uh, Nicki Minaj, Rod Wave, Lil Baby, Gunna. Mm, that's it primarily. Like, those are like my go-to. Yeah.
How has your taste like changed from like when you were growing up and maybe like first got into music to like the way it is now? And has like producing music and creating music like changed your taste at all and made you appreciate any artists any differently?
Um,
Sorry,
hold on. Let me
crazy
think.
question.
that's a good question. Like I feel like yes and no because it makes me like really am thankful for those musicians because they kind of curved me into the producer that I am now because I appreciate music a lot more when I'm going in and actually creating, especially like when I'm in my really soulful moments. Like I'm so thankful for like the old school music that I grew up with and that was in my house. Like I mean, I have a lot more respect for musicians now because I'm in the music industry.
Right. Okay, so let me thoroughly understand the question. Okay, so how does producing music... Wait, repeat the question.
So I kind of rambled a little bit, but I guess my main question is like, how has like producing and creating music like influenced the kind of music that you listen to now? Does like producing and being a creator like make you appreciate any artist any more than you did before?
Okay, so with producing now, it made me appreciate like how much actually goes into making an iconic beat and an iconic song. Like when I first started producing, I was heavily influenced by Timbaland. So like anything from the 90s, I was like, wow, this sounds like so amazing. Like anything from Aaliyah, anything with Missy Elliott, just stuff like that, like Justin Timberlake. So just to realize like, wow, okay, Timbaland really put all of these aspects into this beat to make this beat so bouncy and so iconic and just so groovy. So it made me realize like, wow, like they really did more than what it sounds like. But it did, being a producer now does make me not want to listen to music as much. Because I feel like, okay, I've been making beats all day. I need to take a break from hearing anything musical. So sometimes I go like a month without listening to music. But yeah, and then sometimes I'll notice that like some of my favorite songs growing up had some of the worst musical elements in it. Like I'll notice that from the producer aspect and through the producer lens. I was like, wow, that's what they did. But yeah, it's a good and a bad thing.
Yeah,
I'll say.
Yeah, I feel it for sure. I don't even make music, but like, being around like so many great, musicians in the BeatStars community and listening to beats every day, and getting to know some of the people in the community, I'm like, man, how did I really listen to One Direction for so many years and like not realize? But,
yeah. I see two questions here. I see one from Levi Beats. He said, if and when you collab with other producers, what do you look for or listen for? Me personally, what I look for and listen for is like I listen to their tracks and say, how does this make me feel? Is this a good vibe that I want to add to, or if they can add to mine? Can their vibe add to me, or can I add to them? I try to look for people that are passionate about making music rather just let's just get the bag kind of thing. Like, no,
right.
Are you passionate about what you're doing? Like, do you actually feel the energy in the music that you're doing? So that's what I look for when I'm looking for collabs.
With me, I'm not so like, I don't want to say this like in a bad way, but like I don't just like collab with anybody, cause like people will see like my following on Instagram or just see like my engagement,
Yeah.
and it'll be people who don't even follow me, and they'll hit me up and they'll be like, let's collab, let me send you loops, da 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 da. I'm like, okay, why do you want to collab with me? Is there something that you like about my beats, or do you just see like my engagement and you want to try to get in on that, stuff like that? So I'm just like, I don't really like collabing with anybody. But if people do send me loops, like I already tell them like right off the bat like what kind of style I like. So they don't just like send me anything or whatever.
Right.
So I just tell them like right off the bat like what kind of style I like, and if they send them and they're hard, then boom, that's a new relationship with me and you. And I'm gonna come back for some more loops. So that's really it.
Yeah, so everybody make sure make sure your shit is fire before you send it to them.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to give a shout out to She. This beat is called Lines, and I really love this hook too on this beat. I feel like this one kind of stood out to me when I was going through beats and trying to find them, so I like this beat a lot.
Pino Beats asks, what made you start producing? Just music in general. I wanted to create music like everyone else. Like at first I was singing. I started with singing, so really I didn't want to have to like go through the hoops of like licensing the beats. I'd rather go in and make my own beats, but then I got stuck into the production side and then kind of like peeled back a little bit on the artist, and then it just became addicting to just produce beats. Like that's what did it for me.
For me, honestly, like I said in the beginning, I'm very music oriented. I've always known that I was gonna do something music related. Like I said, I've tried singing, dancing, rapping, songwriting, and I was trash at all of them. But when I heard What a Time to Be Alive, the joint album with Break the Future, just the way that Metro put those beats together and just like how sonically pleasing they were, I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, I want to learn how to make stuff like this. Like, and then from that point on, I just researched into producing, looking at tutorials from Internet Money, stuff like that on YouTube. And then, yeah, I just stuck with it, honestly, and just here I am today. So, yeah.
That's awesome. This one is by Nikita. It's called Burn. It's J.I. and J. Guapo. Type beat. It's a little bit quiet. Let me raise it up a little bit.
J. Rego Music asked a question. He asked, what kind of beats that you've made? What kind of beats do you feel seems to sell the best or have gained you traction? For me, it's just the Lil Baby and the Pain type beats. I know like a lot of people like those Pain soulful type beats because they can just rap about struggles, anything that's going on in their life pertaining to just loss or failures, anything like that. So I get a lot of attention and distraction off of those primarily. And like with the Lil Baby ones, they know like Lil Baby is one of the most listened to artists on YouTube. So like I obviously know like okay, a lot of people are listening to his music. A lot of people are like fans of his music. So I just make those kinds of beats because they hard to me, and I know like a lot of people like them.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of attention with those too.
For me, it's like lately I've noticed that my Jordan Lucas type beats have been getting a lot of traction, So, and I feel like it's because I feel that most artists want something that sounds like a voice in their track. So I try to use instruments like the Asian violins, and like even if it's a vox or something in that track, And I've noticed that for me, it's that, and then some of my like neo soul, particularly the neo soul tracks, do really well for me.
Awesome. This one, comment by Columbus. I like your no melody type beats, Monique. I hopped on a couple already. This is your customer.
Thank you, Columbus. You know I don't like those, but I be trying to make them. They're like so boring to make.
I feel
But
that.
he likes them. Who made this beat again? This is fire.
This one is by Nikita.
Nikita.
Nikita is, we got a little bit of time. We could check out her profile. She's from the UK.
Okay.
Future sample maker. Actor just posted another beat yesterday.
Yeah, she's hard. I like her.
Yeah, this is dope. We might have to do one more from her if we have a little bit of extra time.
Right.
I see a comment on YouTube. Get an email saying the distribution plan. So it should automatically renew if you don't cancel it. There may be a problem with your payment method, but email support@beatstars.com and they could look into it for you. PF Rodriguez, you could just type your questions here.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay, I see why they're on YouTube.
This next one is by Anjanette. I can't even talk. Anjanette Lene.
Yeah.
It's called Match Me.
And we actually have a collab together too.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Anjanette Lene is super dope.
This is really dope.
Yeah, this one's crazy. I think she makes a lot of I think I saw a lot of Kalani style stuff, and she's from the Bay too, my hometown, so or my home area. It's not really one town, but so yeah, if you guys need Janae Aiko, Summer Walker type beats, lo-fi
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
Which one is the one that's that you co-produced?
I have to go look at the name of it. Can't remember the name of it. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Is this one maybe? No.
It might be on my page. I think I put it on mine.
Okay.
Look at the name of it. Let me go to my track. It's called
That's
Trophy.
good though.
It's called Trophy.
Trophy, okay. We'll try to get that one in last. We got a couple by Mari Tang after this. I added two from Mari Tang because she has like such like diverse styles. She has like a reggaeton type beat, and I really wanted to put in a reggaeton one. Because that's like one of my favorite styles of music. And then she has another like more groovy, jazzy Bruno Mars style one.
Like this is vibes right here. This is like the slow jams you put on, like you get all cute and everything.
Right. I love it. I love the bass, like just the bounciness, the melody. Everything is like perfect about this beat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luigi Beats is asking, how long does it take you guys to make a beat start to finish?
It depends. Like really,
Yeah.
I can sit down and make a beat in like 10 or 20 minutes, and it might take me all day to make a beat. It really depends on the beat and what I'm trying to do. Now, my beats with hooks take me a little bit longer because either I've already recorded the hook before I finish the beat, or I have finished the beat and want to record a hook. So it really depends on what I'm doing.
I'll say I'm the same way. It just depends. Like if I'm making a melody from scratch, it could take maybe like an hour and a half, maybe. Or if I'm like using a loop,
Yeah.
probably like mixed and arranged and everything, probably like 20 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Probably.
crazy.
And I try to get I've practiced trying to do it, make beats in shorter times, because like my kids' short attention spans are like really short, so I have to like kind of get in there and do what I'm gonna do and like move on. So it really depends on what's going on and what I'm trying to do.
I feel that.
You're asking-
Crow Productions asked a really good question that's like really common right now. He asked, would any of you guys sign to another producer? Me personally, just seeing like how a manager can really help you versus actually signing to someone and under someone, I say no. I'd rather just have another producer as a mentor versus like me signing under them. Same with signing under artists too. I wouldn't want to sign under an artist either. Because that artist may, especially like with rap artists, that artist may have certain problems with another artist, and now you kind of can't work with that other artist just because of their issues, stuff like that. So I say just wait it out, find you a really good manager. No, let a manager come to you, and then just grow like that, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because like I wouldn't sign under another producer. Like I would rather have a mentor than to sign
Right.
under another producer. It just, and plus I'm like I kind of like my freedom.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel it. And that's what's cool about, you know, the platform that we're in the modern age that we're in, where, you know, you don't need to be like inside, I guess, the music industry to be able to like have success and make a career out of it. You
Right.
could totally stay independent. You could stay in charge of all your own ish and still like be really successful. So I think it's different for different people depending on what your goals are, but I really like that, you know, independent route. It's pretty like, you know, it's inspiring.
Yeah.
And it probably feels really good to like know that like you're in charge of everything and, you know, you're taking care of yourself.
Definitely. Rain Phoenix has a good question. Do you ever get into a mental funk? If so, what do you do to get back to creating? Honestly, me, I just take a break. Literally, if I have to take up to a week break, I will. But usually, for me, so I don't get into those mental funks, I usually I produce one day, I take one day off, produce the next day, and take one off, and then come back to it. Or I just literally put it down and say, okay, I need to slow it down and just come back and then readjust. That's usually how I do it.
With me, I used to get into like bad mental thoughts because I would like force myself to make at least like 6 beats every day. Like I was with that whole, okay, I gotta have a lot so I can have a lot to send out or a lot to upload. But over time, that just like started like draining me. Like after maybe like after 3 months, that started to like really drain me. Cause I feel like I was forcing myself to create instead of just having fun with it and doing it because I genuinely enjoy it. But like what Angel said, I started doing the make beats one day, take a break the other day, and make beats another day. I started doing that. And honestly, that has made me kind of like lazy with it. So now I'm trying to like force myself to get back into the habit of, okay, I gotta make maybe a max of 3 beats every day, you know. So that's what I do now.
Is there any other questions that we missed or you guys noticed that you wanted to answer?
When Union Beats is asking us about, have either of you worked with Girls Make Beats, the nonprofit? I've seen it like a long, long time ago, but I don't think I've worked with them.
I haven't either.
Mhm.
Oh, I got a question for me. What's what's my favorite genre? I listen to a lot of pop, and I don't know why I admitted that about myself. I got no shame though, no shame. I'm proud of it. Um, but I also listen to like pop music and reggaeton and trap music, pretty much everything. I mean, working with BeatStars and being able to make these playlists all the time has really opened up my eyes to a lot of different types of music. So I love everything. To end it off, I wanted to listen to that the collab between Angel and Jeanette. It was called Trophy, right?
Yes,
Okay. There might be a lot of tracks called Trophy.
it might be.
Let me type it in. There we go. BeatStars search algorithm came through again. All right.
Can you turn it up some?
Yeah, let me raise it up a little bit.
Wait, let's go down.
Cloud9 asked a cool question. He asked, if they could only make one type of beats for the month, what artist type would it be? Mine would be the Broadway. So those are like easy colors. Yeah.
That's a good question. If I had to make one type of beat, it would be my neo soul, because it would be the neo soul type of beats if I had to choose one to make the whole month. Which I might actually try that. Like that might be a challenge for me. Like to make neo soul one month and then next month come back with like my hard trap beats.
Yeah.
That might be cool. It might like really cause you to like perfect the sound better and figure out like new ways to make it interesting and unique.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna want to do it for yourself because you don't want to listen to the same thing over and over again, right? So it's gonna force you to like be more inventive. Monique, who's your favorite underground artist or rapper?
I don't know. I don't really listen to a lot of underground artists, to be honest. Maybe Baby Youngin, just because I know him personally. Baby Youngin is like real, like he's really next up. So, you guys are familiar with Baby Youngin?
I gotta check him out. I don't know.
Yeah. They call him the Mexican Broadway.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so he's real good.
That's awesome.
I'm looking. I thought I saw a question. I gotta scroll back through.
I love this beat. Like I feel like I can hear the pocket, the rap one. I love this beat.
This one's super. I like beats that like have like some room for like the artist to like put in their own like flair and flavor on it.
That was the goal behind the track, was to make it not to overcrowd it, but make it where an artist could, do whatever they want to lyrically or vocally on it.
Right.
Do you guys listen to any Bay Area artists? Coco is asking.
Going back to what Monique said about not really listening to, like, I have my artists out for like when I go to work out or just chilling, but like to really listen, I'm mostly into like making the music versus listening to music all the time, so I can't really say I do. I mean, I probably do and don't realize it, because I do listen to a lot of like artists that I may not know their name, but I know their music. But I rarely like listen to music like outside of production, which is crazy. But you would think that being a producer, you listen to music all the time, but that's not really the case.
It might feel kind of like studying, right? Like if you're just listening to music, you're like, this is my work. I want to escape it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was all the questions. I think we covered everybody.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we did it. Yeah, we're just about wrapping up our time here. I want to thank you guys again for joining me on the show. It's rare that I have guests, so I really appreciate it. People that are as cool and as knowledgeable as you guys. I think you really helped out the community a lot, and I'm just happy I got a couple of representatives. While we were highlighting a lot of the women of BeatStars, a couple of the dopest producers that I know of on the site. So thank you guys again.
You're
Yes, thank you for
welcome.
having me.
Thank you. Like, thank you for having us. Like, this is because I've been watching the shows. Like, I'll put it off to the side while like I'm making a beat, like kind of like listening and perusing. So this
Mhm.
is very, very cool.
Awesome. Well, you guys, I definitely have to have you guys back again for a future episode too. Maybe if we're doing like an artist type beat that you guys are really into and producing for, definitely, I feel like there's a lot more that everybody here, has to learn from you and ask you about. And it seems like they really likes you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All
it
right.
was
Thanks again,
fun.
everybody watching. I appreciate all you. Any closing comments from you guys? Buy their beats if you guys are artists.
This that was it for me. It was very
Yeah.
fun. It was very
Yeah.
engaging.
Yes. I
Yeah,
like the engagement.
right. Time went by fast.
Yes.
It did. It's already been an hour. I didn't even realize it. All right. Well, we'll see you guys later. Make sure you guys tune in for the summit. I'll be there in the comments talking to you guys.
I'll
Angel
be
and
there too.
Monique are going to be there.
I'll be
I
there
So,
too.
already I just did.
RSVP, everybody RSVP. All right. Signing off. See you guys later.